Over the years, our commitment to this ideal has been tested. There have been dark days when our nation was unable to extend due process to all, and the basic right of freedom was taken from citizens. In spite of those regrettable days, we are today experiencing the longest uninterrupted period of stable constitutional governance in our history, banishing the specter of instability that disfigured the early years of our nation's existence. The Fourth Republic has made it possible for democracy, equality of opportunity, respect for human rights, access to justice, ideals which have stood the test of time, to find firm anchor in our body politic. If we are to achieve our aims of economic advancement and social progress, then we must all have equal access to the institutions of justice and the benefit of speedy, efficient, and fair resolution of disputes by judicial processes. I agree with the 35th President of the United States of America, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who said, and I quote, "The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened," unquote. We cannot be a nation where some are under the shed of freedom and justice, while others are rid of its protective shade. That is why I commend heartily the initiators and sustainers of the Justice for All program, which has seen a significant number of our citizens held on remand receive the benefit of a hearing and a resolution of their cases. Since its inception in September 2007, the program has steadily seen to the reduction of the remand population from 33% of the prison population to under 13% as of January 2018. Tonight, it is my privilege to join you to celebrate 10 years of the Justice for All program. Dedication to the cause of human rights and the concept of equality before the law have been inspiring themes of my life, and I'm delighted to recognize the success of the program and to acknowledge the contribution of the various stakeholders that have worked towards this. I'd like to extend the appreciation of a grateful nation to the Honorable Joe Gate, Member of Parliament for Isikado, current Minister for Railways Development and former Attorney General, for initiating the program in 2007. Georgina Theodora Wood, the former Chief Justice, the 12th occupant of that office, for sustaining it by placing it directly under the office of the Chief Justice. And the current Chief Justice, Sophia Akufo, for intensifying its operations and guiding the introduction of the first draft of the non-custodial sentencing policy bill. I thank also the chairperson, Justice C.J. Honyenuga, Justice of the Court of Appeal, for his coordination of the program. Commend the National Remand Review Task Force, which is made up of the Judicial Service, the Office of the Attorney General, the Ghana Police, the Ghana Prisons, Legal Aid, and the POS Foundation, led by Jonathan Osewusu, for its efforts to resolve the dilemma between crime control and due process, and for the effective collaboration between civil society and government on this thorny issue. It is through their efforts that Zoro Kuta, after spending 20 years on remand in Ankafo prison, Rashida Halidu, a mother who gave birth to a baby boy in Kumasi prison, and Ya Inkum, who spent 6 months in Winneba prison on a charge of threat of death resulting from his failure to pay 1 CD for Akweteshi, were able to rejoin society. Ghana is again by the program showing leadership on the continent. Indeed, some officials of sister African countries have traveled here to understudy the program with a view to its implementation back home. In November 2017, at the United Nations Universal Periodic Review of Ghana in Geneva, our nation was commended for its operation. As one author put it, and I quote, "There is no greater threat to a free and democratic nation than a government that fails to protect its citizens' freedom and liberty as aggressively as it pursues justice," unquote. Government is determined to promote the rights of all Ghanaians in the spirit of the Constitution and to work tirelessly to address the legislative and policy loopholes in the justice delivery system, ultimately to move Ghana to her desired standing, i.e., a Ghana beyond aid. I appeal to the general public to support this program. Each one of us can be exposed to injustice, and we must therefore ensure that none of us is denied speedy access to justice. The survival of this program is not for the benefit of those who are being held in prison today, but for all Ghanaians. We should all be committed to working and building a united Ghana, governed according to the rule of law, respect for individual liberties, human rights, and the principles of democratic accountability. It is a collective enterprise which should engage all our energies and talents as we seek to establish a Ghanaian civilization, the equal of any on the face of the earth. May God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
The operations of the Justice for All program include the re-examination and update of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960, the review of the sentencing guidelines, and the promotion of efficiency and accountability in the justice service delivery sector, particularly in the area of criminal justice. I have to, at this point, acknowledge one critical input into the Justice for All program, which has assured the success of the program over the years. And this has not been, and this input may not have been given much attention, but it's a critical aspect of the work of the facilitators, which is in the nature of paralegal services. Even though the activities of paralegals are not regulated or formalized in Ghana, it is only right that we give due recognition to the invaluable role played by these facilitators from the POS Foundation. They have functioned as de facto paralegals towards the sustenance and growth of the program. They interview the prison inmates and facilitate the drafting of their applications and criminal appeals. Once again, I would be very pleased to acknowledge the POS Foundation. I would like to take this opportunity also to speak a little bit more about paralegal services. An institutionalized and regulated paralegal system will greatly benefit this country in providing access to justice to the indigent in society, particularly in the remote rural communities where lawyers, as we know, are often not very willing to go and operate. Paralegals could be very, very instrumental in assisting the work of lawyers in the lower courts as well. And I strongly believe that it is about time that we began serious discussions on establishing a robust legal mechanism which effectively defines and incorporates the duties of paralegals in our legal system. If we do not do so, you know and I know that even as I speak, there are a lot of paralegal activities going on without the requisite regulation. So we had better now do the right thing. And I believe that with the proper framework, training, and recognition, paralegals will aid justice delivery in Ghana, as has become the case in jurisdictions such as Canada, Malawi, and Nigeria.
But as we celebrate 10 years of the project, I believe it is also time to reflect on the challenges. Building blocks may have been put in place that will help to improve on what has been accomplished, which cannot be understated. I, on my part, commit to build on what has been established so that this may become a permanent feature of our justice delivery system, because it has brought not only relief to persons who otherwise should be free, but it has also brought solutions to near epidemic health challenges to inmates. And of course, it needs to be mentioned that it has put some ease on the public purse in supporting inmates that have occupied our prisons, which are bursting at the seams.
We are particularly pleased with the cooperation of the Justice for All program because it's targeting some of the poorest and most vulnerable citizens in the country who find themselves in detention for one reason or another and are unable to afford the legal fees of representation. As we heard, the share of remand prisoners of the total prison population has been reduced from 33% in 2007 to 12% as we speak. This is a major achievement. And every time a man or a woman is walking out of a prison after 5, 7, or even 9 years on remand without seeing a judge, a life is changed and the person's dignity is reestablished. The Justice for All program has been a source of hope for many. And if those who have benefited from it were here to testify its relevance, this hall would not be big enough to contain them all. Mr. Chairman, this has not come easy. All stakeholders worked very hard to get this far. I would like to congratulate the Judicial Service of Ghana, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Prison Service, the Attorney General's Department, pro bono lawyers, and civil society organizations who contributed in diverse ways to the success of the program. Particular praise goes to the efforts, zeal, and commitment of both the former and the current Chief Justice to ensure reform implementation. Her Ladyship Sophia Akufu and Her Ladyship Jordina Theodora Wood have worked tirelessly to improve justice administration in Ghana. I would also like to mention the POS Foundation, whose highly professional work I have witnessed during my visits to Nsawam and Nakuse prisons. The Justice for All program is a major hallmark in Ghana's justice system, and as we heard, other African countries are studying the program with a view to implementing similar programs.
We thank you ever so much, Solomon, for all your efforts. Tonight, let's celebrate. Thank you for your sacrifice and your labor of love.
In charge of the Justice for All program and the Justice of the Court of Appeal of Ghana, Justice Onyemugana. Thank you very much, my Lady Chief Justice. Facilitator of the Justice for All program, the tireless, indefatigable, irrepressible Mr. Jonathan A. This round of applause is well deserved. That he threw tried throughout the years to sustain it. The Honorable Joe Gatti. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. And the next awardee in Ghana, a member of the Council of State, we award her for sustaining this program over the years. When it fell under her stewardship, she also threw her weight behind it and ensured that the program succeeded. Thank you very much.
And now, Nana Chairman, Mr. President, with your permission,
behold the tireless advocates of justice for all the great work culminating in